1945. A few miles off the coast of Scotland, 200 feet below the sea, a German submarine was hiding. British ships were watching the water above. The submarine stayed completely silent. Then the captain needed to use the toilet. That one moment destroyed the whole submarine. This is the story of U-1206. It is also the story of how people can live under the sea for months, how they breathe, eat, survive, and how one small mistake can cost everything. First, let's hear the full story of U-1206. The war was almost over. Only a few weeks were left. Captain Karl Adolf Schlitt was on his first real mission. He had been at sea for only 8 days. This submarine had a brand new type of toilet made by German engineers. It was so special that one crew member was trained only to operate it. There was a special order for opening the valves. First this one, then that one, then another one. There was no room for mistakes. The captain thought he could do it himself. He could not. He called the engineer for help. But the engineer opened the wrong valve by mistake. Within seconds, seawater and waste rushed into the submarine. The water reached the batteries. When salt water touched the batteries, it started making chlorine gas. This was the same gas used as a weapon in World War I. The crew began coughing. Their eyes started burning. Breathing became very hard. The captain was running out of time. There was only one choice. He had to bring the submarine to the surface. They threw the torpedoes into the sea to make the submarine lighter so it could rise faster. As soon as it came above the water, British aircraft saw it and attacked. To keep its secrets from the enemy, the captain sank the submarine himself. 4 men died. The rest became prisoners. And all of this happened because of one wrong valve. But wait. The real question is, why was flushing a toilet so difficult? Because the submarine was 200 feet under the sea. At that depth, the water pressure is extremely high. If the sea gets even a small opening, the water will rush inside like a bullet. That is why the inside valve opens first, and the waste goes into a tank. Then the inside valve closes. A powerful pump builds pressure. After that, the outside valve opens and the waste is pushed into the sea. If the order is wrong and the outside valve opens first, seawater will rush inside. That is exactly what happened to U-1206. And this was not just a toilet problem. Every system inside a submarine works like this. Even the smallest job must be done very carefully. Now think about this. Where does the oxygen inside a submarine come from?
So how do people breathe? The answer is something you probably did not expect. The salty seawater itself helps make oxygen. Electricity is used to split the water. The oxygen is separated and released inside the submarine. The hydrogen is sent outside. For a crew of 130 people, the system must produce about 78,000 liters of oxygen every day. This machine cannot stop, even for a moment. But making oxygen is not enough. Every time people breathe out, they produce carbon dioxide. If this gas builds up, the air becomes dangerous. Now think about drinking water. Outside, there is only salty seawater. It is filtered and turned into fresh water that people can drink. Even then, every drop is carefully saved. Each person gets only 60 seconds for a shower. Just 1 minute. Even in the middle of the ocean, not a single drop of water can be wasted. Now let's talk about food. At the start of a mission, the submarine carries up to 20,000 kilograms of food. There is no special storage room, so food is kept under beds, in hallways, and in every empty space. For the first few weeks, the crew eats fresh fruits and vegetables. After that, they eat canned food. They are served 4 meals a day, not 3. There is even a meal after midnight because life inside a submarine makes the body use more energy. On very long missions, some submarines even have an ice cream machine. Now think about the space. A prisoner in a jail cell may have about 80 square feet of space. A person inside a submarine has only about 20 square feet. The beds are so small that you can lie down, but you cannot sit up. There are only 94 beds for 135 crew members. This is called hot bunking. One sailor gets up for duty, and another sailor sleeps in the same warm bed. There is no sunlight and no easy way to know if it is day or night. So the lights inside the submarine are white during the day and red at night to help the brain keep track of time. In the end, these things become the real enemy. Not torpedoes, not enemy ships. The real enemy is the closed steel walls, the same faces every day, no news from family for months, and no fresh air. Slowly, all of this puts pressure on the mind. That is why every submarine crew member is carefully tested before joining. If someone cannot handle small, closed spaces, they are not accepted. Then, in October 1944, the USS Tang proved once again that the biggest danger inside a submarine is not always outside. This American submarine was one of the most successful of its time. It had already sunk 33 enemy ships. Then it fired its last torpedo, but instead of going straight, the torpedo turned in a circle and came back. It hit its own submarine. 78 crew members died. Only 9 survived. One wrong valve on U-1206. One faulty torpedo on USS Tang. Both stories teach the same lesson. Deep under the sea, the greatest danger is not always the enemy. The greatest danger is one small mistake that can happen at any moment. And down there, one mistake can cost everything. So whenever you think about a submarine, do not think only about its power. Think about the courage of the people inside. Their real mission is not just to find the enemy, it is to stay calm, control their minds, and trust their machines every single second.